Hi guys, welcome to the Language Edge YouTube channel. My name is Johnny. In today's video we're going to be talking all about noun phrases. So what exactly is a noun phrase? Well, in order to understand today's video, it is critical that you know what a noun is. So if you're not sure what a noun is, luckily I've just released a full video, 7 or 8 minutes, I can't remember exactly which, but it's now available on the channel homepage entitled What is a Noun? And that will take you through from scratch exactly what we mean by the phrase noun, because if you're not sure what a noun is, then this video on noun phrases isn't going to be the easiest one for you to follow. I will explain it really briefly in a second, but I would highly recommend, if you're really not sure what a noun is or you want a bit of detail to refresh your mind, I would recommend watching that video first and then coming back to this when you're like, yeah, I get it now, I know what a noun is, and we can understand where go from there regarding noun phrases. But having said that, as I say, I'm just going to run through this super quickly to make sure that we're cool, so that we can actually understand what noun phrases are by just going over this dead quick of what a noun is. So this is for people who want a tiny recap, or for people who are pretty sure they know what a noun is already. So a noun in English is a person, place or thing. So I am a person. My name is Johnny. Johnny is a noun. This is a bookcase, and this is a bookcase, noun. Plant pot, noun. Places, Devon is a noun, London is a noun, England is a noun. Those are nouns. Plus, as I explained in the video about nouns, we also have the category of nouns, of abstract nouns, which are things like the joy, the squalor, the happiness, the degradation, etc, etc, etc. Okay, so they're all nouns. So once we've done happy with that, and if you want more detail on that, like a bit more, go back to that other video. But if you're happy with us and you're cool and you know what a noun is and you're like, yep, just get on with it, let's get going. Noun phrase itself. So a noun phrase, quite simply, is a collection of words in a sentence that are all built around and referring to and integral with that noun. Okay, so it is any other categories of words that are in the sentence that are explaining exactly what is happening regarding that noun. So, for example, you might have the noun a gibbon. Now, that's a noun, gibbon. Then you might go, okay, so what colour is this gibbon? Well, this gibbon is black and white. We've got a black and white gibbon. The black and white gibbon, that entire thing, with those adjectives, black and white, and the word and the word the. So the definite article, the word and, linking the two colours, black and white, and the word gibbon, that's now a noun phrase. That is a noun phrase because it's the words that in the sentence that are relating specifically to the noun and that are allowing us to then use that noun to say what happens next in the story of the sentence. But it can get more complicated than this, because what's the mental state of that gibbon at this exact moment in time? So why don't we go for wildly overexcited? So the wildly overexcited black and white gibbon. Suddenly, this entire phrase, this entire set of words, the wildly overexcited black and white gibbon. We've now got an 8-word noun phrase there. The wildly excited and totally, what can we go with? The wildly excited and totally frenzied black and white gibbon. Suddenly we've got this huge phrase, and that is entirely just one noun phrase, because actually all of that stuff is just telling you about the gibbon. So therefore it is a noun phrase. That entire sentence in that context is a noun phrase, because what you're then crying out for is, what did the gibbon do? So the wildly overexcited black and white gibbon jumped onto the zookeeper's shoulder. Now, jumped, not part of the noun phrase, because you've got the gibbon jumped onto the keeper's shoulder. Jumped is a verb, not part of the noun phrase, because all of that stuff that we were saying, all that stuff around the gibbon, that is just telling you about the gibbon that then jumps onto the zookeeper's shoulder. So we could have just, the reason why it's all of the same noun phrase is because you could just say the gibbon jumped onto the zookeeper's shoulder. Easy. The gibbon is the noun phrase in that, because you talk about the gibbon, so it's the definite article plus gibbon. Those two words, the gibbon, jumped, verb, not the noun phrase, because it's telling you what it did in the sentence, onto the zookeeper, separate noun, shoulder. So you could have, if you pull it back into the long version again, you could have the wildly overexcited and ridiculously enthusiastic gibbon, black and white gibbon, jumped onto the unbelievably what's the zookeeper going to be like? Unbelievably surprised zookeeper. Okay, so unbelievably surprised zookeeper, that's another noun phrase. Jumped, not part of the noun phrase because it's what is happening. That noun phrase, that entire thing about the gibbon, it's just telling you what this gibbon was like, and then the jumped is telling you what it does in the story, and then the second part of the sentence is the other noun. So the gibbon in this thing, this is the subject of the sentence, and the zookeeper is the object of the sentence. So you can have a subject, massive, great noun phrase about the type of gibbon and what it's been up to and all these adjectives and all of this stuff. And then you're talking about the verb, and then you're talking about a separate, in this case, a separate noun that is the object in the sentence of the zookeeper, and you could create this massive phrase about the zookeeper too. But that verb in the middle of the jumped is not part of the noun phrase. The second zookeeper bit is not part of the original noun phrase because the original noun phrase is all about the gibbon. Cool. So I hope that has explained exactly what a noun phrase is. It is basically the bunch of words that surround a noun that help you to understand more about the noun, so that when that noun then does something. So jumped, not the noun. The noun is the gibbon and everything that relates to that gibbon and what that gibbon is like, as it were. And then it jumps, verb. If it jumps quickly is there an adverb in that sentence, because it's describing how it jumps. It's not part of the noun phrase. And then you get, if it's jumping onto a zookeeper, you can have a separate noun phrase around what the zookeeper is like and the mental state of the zookeeper, what they look like, all of that. That's all the noun phrase. Okay, so I hope that has helped you to understand what we mean by a noun phrase. It is the collection of words that tell you about what is going on regarding that noun in that sentence. So definite articles, clarifiers, anything that you can think of, adjectives surrounding that noun, all of that stuff, that is the noun phrase. So yeah, if you're talking about a wildly overexcited black and white gibbon that had just had oats for breakfast, I don't even know if a gibbon could eat oats. Don't try this at home if you happen to own a gibbon, although I'm not sure that's even legal in this country. But whatever, you know what I mean. That is all a noun phrase about a gibbon, because if that thing then does something in a sentence, the other thing that it does is the verb, and where it goes from there could be another noun, etc. Okay, so that is what a noun phrase is. Hope you've enjoyed that. Got quite overexcited myself in that video, so yeah, I'm going to go and calm down for a bit. Have a lovely day, my friends. Enjoy talking about your noun phrases. Ciao for now.